Hi, I'm Congressman Scott Perry. At the beginning of each week that Congress is in session, I send out a brief update about the bills the House of Representatives likely will consider. The bills this week are as follows: H.R. 3547, the Space Launch Liability Indemnification Extension Act, which extends provisions of the Commercial Space Launch Act amendments, which cover third party liability for licensed commercial space launches. House resolution, yet to be numbered, extends the Undetectable Firearms Act for 10 years, which requires guns to be manufactured with metal components to ensure they can be detected by security devices. H.R. 3588, which amends the Safe Drinking Water Act to exempt fire hydrants from the prohibition on the use of lead fittings and fixtures. H.R. 1095, the TSA Loose Change Act, which would require the Transportation Security Administration to spend all unclaimed money collected from airport securities checkpoints on lounges for members of the military and their family. H.R. 2719, the Transportation Acquisition Security Reform Act, which would require the Transportation Security Administration to implement best practices and improve transparency with regard to technology acquisition programs. H.R. 1204, the Aviation Security Stakeholder Participation Act of 2013, which directs the Transportation Security Administration to establish an Aviation Security Advisory Committee. H.R. 255, which amends certain definitions contained in the Provo River Project Transfer Act for purposes of clarifying certain property descriptions. H.R. 2388 allows the Secretary of the Interior to take certain federal lands located in El Dorado County, California, into a trust for the benefit of the Shingle Springs Band of Miwok Indians. H.R. 1963, the Bureau of Reclamation Conduit Hydropower Development Equity and Jobs Act, which will remove outdated federal statutes that currently prevent irrigation districts in Montana and other western states from developing hydropower on Bureau of Reclamation canals, ditches, and conduits. H.R. 1241, which facilitates a land exchange involving certain National Forest System lands in the Inyo National Forest in California. H.R. 1846, which amends the act establishing the Lower East Side Tenement National Historic Site to add the Lower East Side Tenement at 103 Orchard Street to the historic site. H.R. 2650, the Fond du Lac Band of Lake Superior Chippewa Non-Intercourse Act of 2013, which authorizes the Fond du Lac Band of Lake Superior Chippewa in Minnesota to lease, sell, or transfer all or any portion of its interest in any property that is not held in trust by the United States for the band's benefit. H.R. 1105, the Small Business Capital Access and Job Preservation Act, which will reduce government mandates and unnecessary regulations implemented by the new Dodd-Frank law, which inhibit private equity firms from investing private capital into small businesses. By reducing overregulation, this legislation will promote greater access to capital for small businesses. And finally, H.R. 3309, the Innovation Act, which targets abusive patent litigation behavior with the goal of preventing individuals from taking advantage of gaps in the system to engage in litigation extortion. It does not attempt to eliminate valid patent litigation. As always, if you have any questions or if I may be of any assistance to you or your family in any way, please contact me at perry.house.gov. That's perry.house.gov. Again, I'm Scott Perry, and I hope you have a fantastic week.